Hi there, blessed viewer. This is Pastor Gerald Nyarega. I'm here today to talk to you about marriage. You see, blessed viewer, there is a sense in which today marriage has been belittled. There's a sense in which today everyone seems to talk about this institution of marriage. No one today, no single institution can claim the inception of marriage except God. And if we have to know something about marriage, then I think it behooves us best to go back to He who began this institution of marriage. And you see, there's a lot that He talks about this institution of marriage that takes away the cloud of the very many things that today hover around the institution of marriage. For example, today we hear people talking about the same-sex marriage. We hear about many talking about polygamous institution of marriage. And we hear so much being spoken of about marriage. Yet, no one seems to make a pause and go back to He who can claim inception of this institution of marriage and what He speaks about this institution of marriage. Allow me to say this, that amongst the many things that people talk about marriage, I would like to just make mention of this one thing. That marriage is sacred. Marriage is divine. It is sanctioned by God. No wonder He makes mention of this statement in the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 13. And I want to just borrow a leaf from what the scriptures make mention of. The Bible records that marriage is honorable above all things. And if marriage is honorable above all things, then I think it behooves us, each one of us, to go back to understand how we enter into the institution of marriage, how we take care of ourselves in the institution of marriage, but most importantly, how we move on as we grow in the institution of marriage. Allow me to talk about these three things briefly, blessed viewer. You see, for us who honor the institution of marriage, then it takes us to that very first thing of our choices. The choice of a partner is of very great import. You see, the Bible is very clear in the book of Proverbs. It says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor with God. In other words, for you to be able to get a partner, a spouse in marriage, the choice of your partner, then it behooves you to go back to the very person or the very one who instituted the institution of marriage, and that's God Himself. And ask of Him patiently that He may be able to lead to you a choice, the best part of your partner. Someone has ever said that, there was a rib that was meant for you. If you choose the wrong rib to come and live with you, it will prick you all the days of your life. So the very first thing is choices, the choice of a partner. The very second thing is commitment. For us to maintain the institution of marriage, we've got to be committed. Both spouses have to commit themselves first to the God who has started the institution of marriage, and number two, to God whom they made a vow before, and the vows that they made one to another. The commitment level has got to be high by both spouses. And finally, blessed viewer, I would like to talk about the last C, and that is conduct. How we conduct ourselves on a day-to-day basis, first to ourselves and to other people that we interact with out there. The conduct that we bear out there and amongst ourselves determines how our institution of marriage shall be going forward. And so today, as a recap, blessed viewer, I'd like to let you know one thing that I've mentioned is that marriage is sacred. Marriage is divine. Marriage is sanctioned by God. And I've given to us 3 C's of containing the institution of marriage in the circles of divinity, or in the circles of how God had desired. The first C I've given to you, blessed viewer, is choices. It's very important that we learn to know how we can choose best as spouses. Many people today are mated more than they are matched by God. One author says so. So the first C is choices. It's important to always seek for God's guidance to know who your partner is, because you're going to spend all the days of your life together with. The second C is commitment. And blessed viewer, it's always very important for us to know that commitment ought to grow by the day. We've made vows one to another. We made vows before God. And we've got to be committed to keep to those vows. We've got to be committed to the vow that we made before God. And this commitment grows by the day, even as we continue to know each other in our life. And finally, I want to talk about our conduct. You see how you conduct yourself, the way you conduct yourself and interact with people out there, how you greet them, how they respond to you, how you respond to them, how they hold you, how they touch you. Whatever thing we do as we interact with people out there, and the space that we give them, the boundaries that we create, determines how we shall live within the circles of this divine institution. So, blessed viewer, looking forward to talking to you again next time about this institutional marriage. All that I can say is, God bless you. Let's always learn to know that marriage is holy, marriage is honorable, marriage is sanctioned by God, it's divine. God bless you. Take care of your marriages as you pray to God to assist you in the same. Thank you, and God bless you.